I do, but I'm not going to start right yet. I'm going to tell everyone. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Could everyone please take their seats? We're going to start in about 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Can I get one of you and and it's IWD 2019 and IWD 2019.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Suzanne Fogwell, and I'm the acting CEO of Enlo. Thank you so much for being here today. This is one event of 5 events that we'll be hosting this week across Newfoundland and Labrador. This is in honor of International Women's Day. Yesterday, we started out in Corner Brook. Tomorrow, we'll be in Clarenville. And later this morning, via live stream, we'll be having groups join us from Happy Valley Goose Bay and Grand Falls, Windsor. Woohoo! International Women's Day is a day to celebrate women's accomplishments and achievements, and the challenges that we continue to face in the quest for gender equality. Status of Women's Canada's theme this year is Innovate for Change. It's time to take action, asking everyone to harness the power of technology to create a more equal world. We have over 450, and in fact, I think it's over 490 registrants this year. We have 9 partners across Newfoundland and Labrador coming together to celebrate this day. We are thrilled to be celebrating with each and every one of you. We are actually really happy to say that the proceeds that we receive today will be donated to regional charities across the island. We will be having a donation basket held at the when you drop off your name tags at the end of the event. So please make sure you put your donation there, and they will be given to fantastic charities across Newfoundland and Labrador. Some of those charities include, or all of those charities include, Violence Prevention Week, Mokami Status of Women Council, Status of Women Central, the Clarenville Dragon Boat Team, the Regional Action Committee on Housing, and the Iris Kirby House. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Enlo, Enlo is a provincial organization dedicated exclusively to women entrepreneurs. We work with nearly 1,000 women business owners each year to help them with their unique challenges and help them reach their goals. Enlo offers business advisory services, including export, and we also have expertise in supplier development. We have fantastic networking opportunities, and it is a great place to join our community. Not only do we provide advisory services, we also hold several events throughout the year recognizing women in business. And you will see on your cheers there, we're going to be hosting our 22nd annual provincial conference coming up on April 10th and 11th, so please check us out. We've put together a slate of incredible speakers, including our keynote, Janet Bannister. Janet is founder of Kijiji.ca and partner at Real Ventures. We are so excited to have Janet here, along with many other, including an amazing lineup of local expertise. Woohoo! And to learn more about the event or to register, visit our website at enlo.org/conference. Today is a celebration that would not be possible without our partners here today, and for each and every one of you that are here celebrating with us today. We would like to thank RBC, BDC for their sponsorship for the 5 events across the province, and to the Genesis Centre for their support here today. I'd also like to say, in this room today, I have 3 generations. Sorry, I have to do it. I have my mother here, who has been a fantastic motivation to me. Certainly is someone for International Women's Day, has provided me with a lot of strength and courage and has made me believe that I can be whatever I want to be. I also asked my daughter yesterday, and I had to do it to you too, who's sitting here in the front row, why is International Women's Day important to you? And she said, it's so important because I can be whatever I want to be, and you have shown me that. And that was the best thing that I could have ever heard. We also have Maya here in the audience as well, which is Denise's daughter. And the 2 girls were fantastic help this morning. The both of them took your jackets. They're true little entrepreneurs, and I look forward to their entrepreneurial spirit. And thank you, girls. You really saved us because we didn't have anyone doing the coat check. So thank you so much. Now, I'd like to, so let's hear a few words from our sponsors. I'd like to first invite Michelle Sims, President and CEO of Genesis Centre, to say a few words.
Thank you, Suzanne, and happy International Women's Day, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say a welcome to everyone to the brand new Amira Innovation Exchange at Memorial University's Signal Hill campus and the home of Genesis. We're located about 2 floors or 2.5 floors down from here, where we house about 23 companies, and we work with about 25 others through acceleration programs. Before I tell you a little bit about Genesis, I'd like to do a land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunatuavut and the Innu of Nitassinan and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. So let me tell you a little bit about Genesis. Genesis exists to help build amazing companies. We work exclusively with technology companies, and we've been in existence for about 22 years. We're focused very heavily on people, place, and programs. So we have entrepreneurs that have been with us for 22 years that have been very successful, that give back through mentoring and advisory services to our entrepreneurs. They actually are a great peer network for each other as well. We also have the place, this space, this wonderful space that we're very lucky to be able to come and work from every single day. And here in this space, we are able to house companies. We're able to host events with them, and we're able to also enable them to work with Memorial University and the various different research facilities and lab facilities that are available at Memorial. And then through programs, we offer a wide range of programs to our entrepreneurs, ranging from market intelligence services, competitive intelligence services, to acceleration programs and incubation programs as well. So if you have the opportunity to check us out, do so. It's genesiscenter.ca, or you can pop downstairs at any time and take a look around and meet the team and some of the entrepreneurs that are there. This year's theme is Innovate for Change, and one of the first things I'd like to do very quickly is just to get a sense of how many women in the audience work in the technology sector. If you could just raise your hands. It's awesome to see. We need more women working in the technology sector, and at Genesis we have a diversity program targeted at trying to get more women involved in the technology sector. Right now across the country, only about 5% of the women that are founders of technology companies, only about 5% of the founders of technology companies in the country are women, which is a really sad statistic, and we certainly want to see more of that. We recognize that women's involvement in business and more gender equity in business is important for the growth of the business and important for the business in general in terms of a financial perspective as well as a growth perspective. I would also like to recognize our partners here today, Enlo, RBC, and BDC. Without the partners like this, we would never be able to pull off something like this. Being able to get 180, I think 480 across the province, women and bright minds together on a morning like this wouldn't be possible without their support. So thank you all for coming, and thanks to our sponsors.
Thank you, Michelle. I would like to invite Pavlina Stanoff, Commercial Account Manager, to speak on behalf of RBC.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. I'm very excited to bring greetings on behalf of RBC in such a special occasion of celebrating International Women's Day in our community. It is wonderful to see so many familiar faces and to stand up and celebrate in unison of a century-long old tradition to empower women and girls of all ages. Women in North America represent approximately 50% of the population, obtain the majority of the university degrees, and impact over 80% of the purchasing decisions. Women also own and or manage over 40% of all businesses in Canada. But despite of the strengths, there is one thing for sure: we cannot take our status for granted. We absolutely need to continue to advance. I feel privileged to live in a community and work in a company that helps us do just that. Consider, as of October 31st last year, women make 58% of the RBC's workforce in Canada, 45% of middle management and above, and 45% of executives, which exceeds the external benchmarks. While it will take me too long to describe everything we're doing internally and externally to support women, I want to include a few highlights. Sponsorship of the RBC Canadian Women Entrepreneur Award, we have done that since 2005. Last year was another breaking record with 7,400 nominations. This truly demonstrates the importance of these awards. With women owning more than 40% of the businesses in Canada, I know that we can do even better this year. If you're not familiar with this award, talk to us. Nominations are now open, and please take time to nominate either yourself or another deserving woman from our community. Then we also have partnerships with local groups in our province, such as NLO, St. John's International Women Festival, the YMCA in St. John's, to name a few. We also have updated at RBC our child care leave policy in Canada to provide new parents with up to 78 weeks off work to care for newborn and newly adopted children. Finally, we do have a Women in Leadership program, which is a 10-month program for high potential, non-executive women leaders that offer accelerated, intensive leadership training to accelerate themselves to senior management roles. So a lot of great things are underway, but we acknowledge that more needs to be done. There continue to be too many headlines, stories about people pushing further away from each other at a time when we need to be pulling together. But pulling together requires courage, it requires vulnerability, and it requires willingness to listen, learn, and most importantly, to advocate. That is why this year RBC has chosen to take a bold step forward to International Women's Day. We are celebrating on social media. You can please tweet if you will. We also celebrate in our branches and, like today, outside of our branches. At our local branches of RBC, here in our community, we understand the responsibility to be part of the process, to support women business owners, to educate ourselves, our children, our business partners, in order to achieve a meaningful change. In closing, despite of the work we have to do, we are very happy to pause on this day and celebrate all of you, all the achievements. I would like to sincerely thank NLO for giving us an opportunity to be a sponsor for this event. And I would like to thank everybody for coming in. I would like to thank my colleagues from RBC. And I would like to kind of give a shout out to one person, Bill Warren, who has been a mentor for our commercial team and who took my dare today to come and celebrate with all of us. Thank you, Bill. Happy International Women's Day, everybody, and meet us at the exit door. We'll have a little surprise for each and one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavlina. Next, I'd like to invite Natasha Hudson. Where is Natasha to? Oh, there she is, to speak on behalf of BDC. Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you, Suzanne. Well, good morning, everyone. It's an amazing turnout. It's great to be here today. I wanted to thank everyone for joining us here today. For those people who don't know me, I'm Natasha Hudson, and I am the Regional Manager of Partnerships for BDC in Atlantic Canada. It's a real pleasure to be here today with all of you to show our support for women entrepreneurs and to celebrate International Women's Day. First, I want to acknowledge the great work done by our long-term friends and partners at Enlo. We truly appreciate the time and efforts invested for this event and throughout the year, and the very important work that they do every single day across this province. Bringing women together is so important to our collective success together because we are stronger together. So I want to thank Enlo for everything that they do. It gives us even more reason to celebrate International Women's Day when we can see that there are more women-led business success stories, which is a very positive sign. These women entrepreneurs inspire us with their ambition and willingness to take their businesses further. For the women entrepreneurs joining us here today, BDC is here to help you and your company along your entire business journey. If you have any questions, please feel free to come and see me or any of my colleagues. At BDC, and in keeping with this year's theme, we also believe that balance drives a better working world. We support women entrepreneurs, and not just because it's the right thing to do, but because diversity and inclusion are good for business. At BDC, we've recently created a supplier diversity program to ensure our suppliers are as diverse as our clients. Businesses owned by diverse suppliers can sign up on our website at bdc.ca/supplier to help us progressively transform our own supply chain. Across Newfoundland and Labrador, our team is truly on the front lines working with entrepreneurs every single day. We are the only bank dedicated exclusively to entrepreneurs. We lend to and advise over 56,000 Canadian entrepreneurs from all walks of life, from coast to coast, and in all stages of growth. But it's a known fact that women still face barriers when trying to build and grow their businesses. We believe that women entrepreneurs have enormous untapped potential for Canada and that there's no limit to what they can accomplish. And at BDC, we believe, as Canada's development bank, that it is our role to help unleash that potential. Across Newfoundland and Labrador, our team is truly on the front lines, working with entrepreneurs every day. I'm proud to say that we are seeing a lot of results, but there's still much more work to do. It gives us even more reason to celebrate today when we see the audience that we can bring together. I wish you all a productive and inspiring day, and most of all, a happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Natasha. Now I would like to introduce Meg Soper. Meg Soper has worked across the country and internationally as a professional speaker and comedian. She has shared the stage with such celebrities as Ellen DeGeneres and Ray Romano. You may have seen her on the Women's Television Network and CBC. She is a co-author of the book From Stage to the Page, Life Lessons with Laughter, a registered nurse, entrepreneur, business owner, wife, mother of 2 millennials. She is here today to share her story, sense of humor, and shed some comedic light on the stresses of everyday life. Let's welcome Meg Soper.
Hey! Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you, Suzanne. Oh, how you feeling? Let me hear you. How you feeling? Hey! Oh, well, let's do a shout out to Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and Grand Falls, Windsor. So thank you for joining us. This is so much fun to be here. I'm always excited when I can get here. It's always an adventure to get to your province. It's unbelievable. So I flew in on hi Maya, hi, it's Maya and NFA. Oh, you're so beautiful. Jen said right in the front row. So great. So I flew in on Tuesday into Deer Lake and arrived in the evening, and it was a snowstorm, and I know that's normal for you. I was terrified to get on the road, and Aubrey was my cab driver. He's from St. Jude's, and Aubrey said, I'm not the least bit worried or concerned or nervous in this weather, Meg. And so he drove at 112 kilometers an hour. on snow-covered highway, and he was implored to point out all the landmarks. It was pitch dark. He wanted to point out there's Marble Mountain and there's Pasadena, and every time we passed by a landmark, both hands came off the wheel. Meg, you have to look over here. He's the road. This is the road. Meg, don't miss Marble Mountain. It's pitch. No one can see anything. No one can see. So my fingernails were embedded on the dashboard. Oh my gosh, I was so grateful to just be alive the next day. And on my trip back to Deer Lake, I had the polar opposite. So I had Clayton, who was about 107 years old. He was the oldest cab driver I've ever had in my entire life, and he drove at 63 kilometers an hour. It took us 3 hours to do the drive. Just crept along. I could have ran faster. But I was very grateful, just plodded along. And he said, Meg, I love my job. He said, I'll never stop working. And then there was 5 of us in the departure lounge for Deer Lake to get here to St. John's. And I thought, I don't understand how they can afford to run a plane with only 5 people. Well, we get out on the tarmac, up the stairs, we get on the plane, and there's 47 people that are already on the plane, partying, laughing, smiling, having a wonderful time. And we catch our seat, and I thought, that's how I feel when I come to this province, that you're just joining a party that's already started. And they're just delighted to have you and embrace you, and then they call you love for the rest of the day. It is amazing. So I have to say, I feel so blessed to be here and celebrate the fact that we are better and stronger together. Let's celebrate our diversity together. Come on. So great. Oh, we're going to have some fun today. Oh, my gosh. And I loved moving around this room and connecting with many of you and hearing your stories from a stay-at-home mom. Where's Michelle? Michelle, stay-at-home mom for 8.5 years. 8.5 years. She never left the living room. Denise. It's Denise. She'd just put one toenail out every 3 months, and then she'd go back inside to care for her kids. And now she's back in the workforce and just rocking it out with RBC. So fabulous. So many stories. So many stories, so beautiful. And my beautiful woman right here is Michelle. Michelle retired, and you lasted, 2-3 months? You did the laundry, then you started your own business. You got it rocking right out. So many beautiful stories. My beautiful Mona, 47 years ago, traveled from Egypt, landed in St. John's, and fell in love with the people, and I totally get it, had some fish and chips. She's never left. Amazing diversity, beautiful stories in this room. So we celebrate the fact that we've come from all different angles and that you love being here, you love living here, and I get it. And some of you leave Newfoundland and then you come back. And I love asking why, because it's snowing for 8 months of the year. And I love the answers that come back because of the people, because of the people. It's the people, it's the people, it's the people. And what stresses you out? The people, for sure it is. But we have that opportunity every day to create that positive environment, and that's what we're going to celebrate within ourselves and outside. And, it's normal to have a bad day. Is there anyone here who's ever had a bad day? Let me see a show of hands. Ever had a bad day and what you do? Ever had a bad day? You don't have your hand up. I'd like to know what kind of medication you're taking. One of those days, you didn't even want to leave the house. Have you ever worked alongside of this person? How many of you are this person on occasion? Let's be honest. And then there's days you shouldn't leave the house. You should not. Walk by a mirror. Do a mirror check. You're out in the public. And then we're just so busy. We're stressed. That was me, except the passenger seat coming from Deer Lake. Terrified. I'll never be the same. We're so busy. That's how we define ourselves. How are you? Busy. Just busy. We're really busy. We're busy at work. We're ramping up. It's a busy time. Kids are busy, really busy. I can't wait till I retire. I'm going to be busier than ever. Such a badge. I bet you wish you were busy as me. Just busy. So busy. We're stretched in every direction. Everybody wants a piece of you. You could have been an amoeba, and then you come home and you're done. You're so done. You couldn't put your shoes back on if somebody paid you a lot of money. But that's what we do. We deal with stress for a living some days. No 2 days are ever the same, am I right? Increased demands on your time, constant distractions, you're juggling priorities, you're managing expectations, you're dealing with budgets. Some days it feels like you're pushing water uphill with a metal rake. So, how do you do it all? How do you do it all and keep it all together? Well, I can tell you, after 30 years in the healthcare industry as a registered nurse and 20 years of running my own business as a speaker and overlapping, I know this. 2 things. You need to not only survive, but thrive in times of change. Humor and resilience. Are you with me on this? Let me hear you. Yes! Oh, humor and resilience. We need a sense of humor. We need a sense of humor just to be able to shift our perspective. And you know, humor doesn't work all the time. I got pulled over for speeding the other day, and I said to the policeman, look, I am just trying to keep up with traffic. I know there's no other cars around. That's how far ahead of me these people are. Didn't work out that well. And healthcare has certainly taught me about maintaining a sense of humor. I remember this one occasion working in the cystology department, and the turnover of cases is really quick. And it was 2 in the afternoon. I'm checking in my patient. Hi, my name's Meg. I'm the registered nurse looking after you today. Have you had this procedure done before? He's like, no. He's really indignant. He said, why? Do patients come back more than once for this? I said, yes. Patients come back every 2-3 months. Not a big deal. Well, I certainly don't plan on coming back and get it right the first time. Blah, blah, blah. Then I checked his consent. I see he's having a vasectomy. So it's nice when patients have a sense of humor as well. And I think what I love the most about looking out in this amazing room, well, it's great. We've got a sandwich. We've got Bill Warren on this side, and then we've got this fabulous gentleman who's hoping to blend in. And what's your name? Blair. Oh, you're with BDC, RBC, BDC. That's fantastic. You're so brave. Well done. Well done. So fantastic. And I look at just the generational diversity. I'm pretty sure, I look out on the room, I'm pretty sure there are people that learned to type with a manual typewriter. Where are my people? Where are my people? Yeah. You needed a copy. What'd you use? Carbon paper, right? Carbon paper. Yeah, you made a mistake. What'd you use? Whiteout. You got it, whiteout. You didn't have any whiteout. What'd you do? Start it over. You had to start over. And now look how many passwords you're expected to remember. Code numbers, PIN numbers. How many of you are afraid to log off the computer in case you can't remember? Oh my gosh, we can't even remember our own answers to our own security questions. And we came up with them in the first place. No, there's so much generational diversity. Let's celebrate it for a moment. So we've, in our lives, and we celebrate International Women's Day and the people that shaped our lives, our mothers, our grandmothers. We think of traditionalists who were born before 1945, so resilient. Oh my gosh, they were amazing. They grew up at a time where group therapy, there was no such thing as group therapy. It was Sunday night dinner. Oh, no such thing as childproof lids on medicine bottles. It was survival of the fittest. Oh, they raked a leaf. They didn't blow it. They mowed the grass. They didn't smoke it. Pot was something you used to cook with. Coke was a cold drink. Timeshare meant spending the evening together, not a condo in Florida. And I can tell you, a Brazilian was someone who was from Brazil. Oh my gosh, and of all the generations, that were the traditionalists, that's the smallest and the wealthiest. And man, do we lean into them. They shaped who we are. And we've got baby boomers in this room, born between 1946 and 1964. Where are you, boomers, if you have the strength to raise your hand? Nice and high. Nice and high. Look at them. Keep them up, keep them up, keep them up, keep them up, keep them up. Oh, look at them. Beautiful, beautiful. This is a really good time of day for us right now. Are you kidding? Before noon, we're on fire. Oh, so sharp, amazing. Give us a cup of coffee and get out of the way. Oh, gosh, and we know about 10 hours we get to go to bed, which is so great. Just love going to bed. Everything about it is wonderful. No one needs to be involved. No one is involved. Spread out, take up the whole scene. You can make up as much noise as you want. And we need equipment now to sleep successfully. We've got earplugs and a mouth guard, a fan, and water for the CPAP machine. We're basically want to live through the night. That's it. Just want to wake up the next day. We have light bulbs now that have a longer life expectancy than we do. Just want to live long enough to have to change them. I can't. We're resilient. You know, we really are. I mean, we grew up at a time when a phone didn't fit in your pocket, a movie could not be owned, a toy could not be programmed, summer camp didn't come with a menu. Yeah, man, I'm amazed we made it. I mean, you had a bike, it had one gear. It just went forward. Forget about a helmet. The only thing you had on for protection in those days was a nylon bathing suit. Or a Speedo if you happen to be from Deer Lake. I'm amazed we made it. I really am. We had toys you could potentially swallow, and cribs were just covered in lead paint, and you had those baby walkers that could careen down the stairs at any given moment. Nothing shy of a miracle. We came through in one piece. We wore thongs on our feet. But man, we have a lot of positive qualities. Aren't we amazing? My gosh, incredible. We can work a miracle with a pickle and a strawberry. We feel and act younger than we are. Put a positive spin on aging. It's not gray hair, it's Arctic highlights. It's fantastic. Our clothes fit. Tilt one of them over at the break. Nothing's going to fall out. Everything's tucked in, buttoned down, zipped up, and good to go. And we're staying in the workplace longer. Yeah, we have to keep working. We've got people living in our basement. Now let's celebrate Gen X, born between 1965 and 1979. Where are you in the room, Gen X? Oh, look at them all. Oh my gosh, fantastic. Keep them up, keep them up. The seal vest, so beautiful. Just done up, nice shoes, goal setters, lots of energy, so fantastic. 31% of the workforce, Gen X. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. And I love this generation because you're tucked right in. You're sandwiched. You've got millennials on one side and boomers on the other. So some Gen Xers are changing their kid diapers at home and buying adult diapers for their parents. Very resilient, fantastic. Goal setters. And they're beautiful millennials, born between 1980 and 2000. Where are the millennials? Generation Y millennials. Oh, look at, they're all banded over on this side. Look at them, strong. They stick together. They stick together. Look at them, so beautiful. Keep them up, keep them up, keep them up. Okay, now check out the hair. Check it out. Okay, first of all, it's there, which is fantastic. Oh, it's so beautiful. Just check it out. So gorgeous. It's product, it's time, it is so beautiful. This does not just happen. No. This isn't a just wake up and get out of bed and see what shakes down. No. This is a commitment above the neck. That is Catherine. That is so beautiful off a magazine cover. Come on. Stunning. Oh, man. Beautiful, beautiful. There's a huge difference with millennials born in the 80s versus the 90s. And 35% of our workforce, we celebrate them. And by the year 2020, it will be 50% of the workforce. Fabulous generation. Now, we think of this generation, we think open-minded, well cared for, confident, high achieving, group-oriented, formative events. Oklahoma City bombing, 9/11, internet boom. Oh, they're resilient. Grew up driving in a car where you didn't roll down the window. Just boop. And multicultural classrooms where creativity was taught and celebrated in schools. So that kid who was a handful in the 60s would now be diagnosed and medicated. I'm pretty sure Dennis the Menace would be on Ritalin. Charlie Brown would be edging towards Prozac. Aware of a carbohydrate by the age of 12. Drink vitamin water and Red Bull. Sometimes seen putting vodka in it. They watch TV online, and they're largely children of boomers and older Xers, very protected by their parents. We didn't discipline them. We were too tired. The best we could come up with was a timeout. That is so weak. Just sit there. I'm disciplining you right now. Turn around, Missy. It's a timeout. 10 minutes. Exhausted. We had to work short today. Turn around. Oh, some of them got a trophy for just showing up. And hey, they didn't ask for the trophy. We handed it to them. I think it came from boomers who didn't get enough attention. Hey, you with me? Because boomers, we grew up at a time when, oh, you think you're special? But Gen Y grew up believing they were special. We put signs in the back of the car. Precious cargo on board. Just back off. It's not be a good time to hit this vehicle right now. We need some space here. I love this generation. Celebrate their, express themselves with tattoos and piercings. Over 40% of Gen Y has a tattoo. Over 40%. If you have a tattoo from an older generation, it indicates you might have had a life at sea. Oh, gosh, and I love them. I love them. Gen Y helicopter parents, they sometimes over micromanage, eh? So the true story. So millennial helicopter parents landed in the principal's office one morning complaining about their son being bullied. And the principal said, how do you know your son's being bullied? Because when we were hiding in the ravine at recess, we saw them. True story. Amazing, amazing. Now let's just test this audience right now. Question. Is it good or bad if your eyebrows are on fleek? It's good. It's good. And what does TTFL mean? TTYL? FOMO. G2G. BRB. YOLO. You only live once and your oil light is on. We love this generation. Why? Because they're beautiful, they're stunning, they think outside the box, they're creative, they have a lot of diversity. They see small print. Can lift heavy things without getting tired. Not afraid of disruption. And support restaurants. They're amazing. They're amazing, and they put their hands up around issues like mental health. Don't pretend it's okay. Put your hand up. So great. And then we celebrate Generation Z right here, right in the front row, who are doing more to change concepts in this country than any other generation previously. So great. That's you. That's you guys. Yeah, Generation Z, 18 and younger. So fabulous. So we celebrate today having all of us in the room together, and we can lean in on each other because we are better and stronger together. So great. And we've seen a lot of changes over the years from how we communicate. We were attached to a wall, and now we don't know if somebody's talking to us or if their medication wore off. We have no idea. But they're behind us in the lineup. We don't know. Should we be involved? I'm not sure. And this is who we're hiring. Okay, did you have this in your life? Oh my gosh, what a beautiful piece of technology this was. So not only could you listen to music, but it also doubled as an assault weapon. Look at the size of this thing. Do you remember the shuffle button? Remember that? Yeah, that was great because you didn't know which 8 songs were coming on next. So exciting. And the anti-shock button. Do you remember that little button? Oh, the anti-shock button that did absolutely Nothing. It still skipped if you exhaled. Come on! Oh, does that not define a generation? One beautiful woman in my room, she said her granddaughter wanted to know where the on-off switch was. So great. We baked a cake over a light bulb, served it to the family, and they still ate it. Cooked in a metal tin. Solid 3.5-hour activity. Who had a waterbed in their life? Come on, where are the romantics in the room? So great. Bill, check out the velvet backdrop if you could, please. Let's take a moment out of the day. Tricky to find a fitted sheet for this bed, though. Now, I had one amazing boomer who said the only reason they got rid of their waterbed is because they couldn't get out of it any longer. Her husband loved it. He had a bad back. Okay, now what's the show? Yeah. Yeah, you're doing well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now here we are in the 40s. No screen. Look at the eye contact. Look how in love everyone is with each other. All dressed up. She's got the doily going on around her neck. So great. Just so concentrated on one another. And look who's in charge of IT. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Let's go right now. Okay, now here we are in the 60s, moving along. How many of you can remember your first black and white television set? Yeah, you had to walk over to it to turn it on. Started off with a little dot that just got bigger. 3 stations to choose from, not a hope of a program after midnight. Just that gigantic Indian head test pattern on the screen. Now we have 650 stations to choose from, all these different remotes. You need IT support to get a DVD working. This makes you want to have a nap. And now, well, we each have our own screen. Where's the eye contact? That's why events like this are so important, that we can lean in and we can look at each other and we can celebrate. And hats off to you for stepping off your busy day and celebrating each other. International Women's Day. It makes a difference. So how we worked out? You do what you need to do. It's right after Thanksgiving. 110 calories in the gravy alone. So great. And now we have kale in a mug. Now, can you raise your hand? Do you bring your lunch to work with you today? You bring your lunch with you, set yourself up for success. And green tea. Have you got green tea in your life? Do you have green tea? For those of you who've never tried green tea, here's what you do. Go outside and lick the pavement. Oh! As just a sampling of the taste sensation you'll be enjoying for the balance of your natural life. So hideous and so good for you. So good for you. Okay, we got creative with safety. Seatbelts, I don't think so. No. You went on a 12-hour road trip with your family. You were stuffed in the back of a station wagon with a game of I Spy and a sleeping bag for entertainment. Closest we came to an airbag was sitting beside somebody who wouldn't stop talking. I'm amazed we made it. And now we strap our kids in like we're traveling out of the atmosphere. Now, I love this. I love this as an example of the diversity. So, kids, hang on to this narrow, thin rope while I shove you down this icy, steep embankment. With all kinds of rocks and trees and objects you could potentially hit your head on. I don't have a cell phone or any way to connect with the outside world. It hasn't been invented yet. And hey, you don't need a helmet. You've got a little hood on. You got a hat. Oh, and that scarf. Why don't you wrap that nice and tight? That's it. Off you go. Good luck. See you at the bottom. And now... Now, we are protected on the outside But I think we're more vulnerable than ever on the inside. Are you with me on this? Yeah, we're more vulnerable than ever on the inside. Let's dip in. Let's just touch down on that and how we balance it all, how we keep it all together. So we've got all these balls up in the air that we juggle with our amazing lives. We've got our career, and I love learning about the culture at RBC and how you lean into each other. And Diane, you just started with this team, but you said you felt like you've worked with them your whole life. And I love the stats, Bill. When you were 7.5 years ago, you started at RBC, 90% in commercial banking was male-dominated. And today, 70% of women hold major roles in RBC commercial. Am I right? Fantastic. What a shift you've seen. What a shift you've seen. All because of Bill, apparently. He's an incredible man. And we have that opportunity to lean into each other, and we create that positive culture when we do. And to keep that smile file for those days when you get derailed or you get knocked off balance, because sometimes those negative thoughts take hold, and we need to have that little pocket that we can go to either on our inbox or in a little file with cards, notes, or an email, a positive thought to remind ourselves of why we do what we do so well. And we've got our physical health, so we know that nutrition, fitness, two best defenses against managing stress and battling depression. So we change. Over the age of 40, we lose 0.5 pound of muscle a year, metabolism slows down. We can't keep doing it the same way and expect the same results. So I have handouts that speak to this that I'm excited and delighted to share with you if you're interested. Just touching on this because we don't have time to go deep today. Talks about the difference between alkaline and acidic foods. And there's a 21-day challenge that I challenge you to take on to see if you can notice a difference and shift it up, because I believe we can always do it better. And the better we are at managing our stress level, the more productive we will be. Nutrition, fitness play a major role in how we feel. Are you with me on this? So you come, thank you. So huge. And we can always do it better. So if you're interested, please come and see me, and I will make those handouts available to the incredible Christy H. with Enlo. And there'll be also, some of the content here will be summarized as well. And we can set ourselves up for success with sleep. So huge. We'll be talking about this a little bit later too, but sleep is the most organic way to renew your body and your mind. And so we can set ourselves up for success by tuning it out and turning it off and setting boundaries and self-care, because it all adds up. And when you think about managing your stress level, I want you to just think back to the last 7 days. What are 3 activities that you did to lower your stress level? Can you think of some? Just pipe them up. Yoga, run, art, went to the cottage, rock climbing, paint the kitchen, nice. Paint with your kids, keep it coming. You purged the closet? You purged the closet. That is so awesome. You purged the closet. And how did that feel? Beautiful. After. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. So when you think of those 3 activities that you did to lower your stress level, very seldom is it involved with stuff. It's usually an activity, right? Or connection with another person or a conversation, something that lifted you up. And yet we carry all this stuff around. How amazing, Christina, that you put the energy into creating that space you can actually breathe. So most of us wear 20% of our clothing 80% of the time. Yeah, but we keep those pants we might get back into. You know, if you had the flu for 3 weeks, you might be able to get the zipper up. Yeah, we hang on. Or that gift that you should never step out in public in. Right. Yes, we keep them. We think they might work. They might come back. The style might come back. Yeah, so fabulous that you did that. 3 activities you did to lower your stress level. Anybody else? Walked your dog and drank wine, alcohol coming in on the left side from RBC. So nice. So you created with a creature. Yoga, Zumba, dance, create, paint, sing, soak, swim. Time with friends, cuddle a creature. Spend time with your family. Try to get away from your family. Hide and seek on your dog and don't tell them. So fun. Pop rocks in the kitty litter. Endless opportunities. So fun. So fun. I'd love you to leave with this. 30 minutes a day outside of work, outside of life to manage your bounce back factor. Let's put ourselves on that priority list and check in. Did I take my 30 minutes? It makes such a difference. So I was in Thompson, Manitoba, 8.5 hours north of Winnipeg. Beautiful woman right in the front row, healthcare provider. I said, what do you do to relieve your stress? She looked me right in the eye. She said, I just learned how to skin a wolverine. Oh my God. I'd never heard those words put together in a sentence before. She was this big. She looked like she just walked off a wedding cake. I can tell you, I got her to walk me to my car. I've never felt safer than then. It's different for all of us. And here is something to think about. So the David Suzuki Foundation came up with the 30 and 30. 30 minutes outside for 30 days in a row and see if you notice a difference spiritually or emotionally. Because sometimes, very often, we go house to car to work and repeat the process at the end of the day. Sometimes it's the smokers who get the most fresh air of all of us. Challenge to you, be mindful. Check in, did I take my 30 minutes? It all adds up, and it's different for all of us. It's different for all of us. And our family, look at the difference. We have all the people in our life that we lean into. You've got, some of you got little ones. And you've got, who's got teenagers, who's living the dream? Nice. Kids in university, are they away? Do you miss them? No. We've got our own parents that are aging, seem to be pushing all our buttons. They know so well, they installed them in the first place. My mother's 93, lives in assisted living. Whole other set of standards there. The hot guy's the one who can do the one-arm transfer from the walker to the chair. So hot. This guy, so hot. Makes it look so easy. So easy. There's one couple that met in this retirement home. He's 93, she's 89. They're getting married. She's getting her cataracts done just for the wedding. I'm concerned she's going to see what he looks like, but as long as he doesn't get his hearing fixed, I think we'll be all right. All these relationships. And for those of you who don't have your own kids, most of us have some creature counting on us to get them through their day. And our relationships. How many of you in this room have been in a long-term relationship, same person, partner, spouse, over 5 years? Okay, how many of you are not in a relationship and incredibly grateful? Very grateful. 10 years, long-term relationship, 10 years, 15, 20, 25. Who's alive at 30? 35 years and your partner's still alive. 40. We're slimming down. 45. Mona, you crushed it. How many, Mona? 44. Can anyone come close to 44? Mona is the ruler in the room. Let's go right now. Fantastic. So great. And what's your partner's name? Hussein. And what would you say, you look happy, what would you say the key to your successful relationship has been? He supports you in your dreams and what you go after. He's there supporting you. Fantastic. That is beautiful. So great. And to celebrate our beautiful Corner Brook yesterday, we had Roy. He said, Meg, I'm a male hooker. He's from the Rug and Quilting Society, thankfully. He was beautiful. He was married 50 years to Janice. She was sitting right beside him. And I said, what's your secret? He said, you never give up. When you feel like walking out that door, you walk right back in. How fabulous is that? Roy rocks, Corner Brook, Newfoundland. So beautiful. When I was here the last time, I was blessed to meet Catherine, and she was from Labrador. I said, she was married for 50 years. I said, what's the secret? She said, debt. We're bound together by debt. That is fantastic. Last week, road builders, Dan, 47 years he was married. I said, what's your secret? He said, I'll tell you the secret. We go out for dinner once a week. We don't worry about the cost. She goes Wednesdays, I go Thursdays. It's working out perfectly. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Been married to Andy for 28 years. Not a chance I'm starting over. I don't have the energy to put someone else through this rigorous training process. Yeah. But he's fantastic. He's right at the back of the room. He's a little spark plug. Yeah, he's a little spark plug. Yay. You know, I thought certain things would happen when you got married. Like you instantly evolved into an amazing cook. Well, no, first year in, I was pretty sure he had scurvy. Now, he insists he loves my cooking, but every night at supper time, there's always some job-related emergency he's got to rush out the door for, which is a bit odd because he works from home. But we can always be mindful of the energy we bring with our relationships and hug the ones that lift us up. And give them a compliment. Give them a compliment. Follow them around for the weekend. Wait for them to do something right. Just walk behind them with a little notepad. Nope, not good enough. Nope, we'll still wait. Nope. And get creative. If you get to the end of the day and you can't think of something, make something up. I love the way your muscles ripple when you take out the garbage. You bend down and pick up that can, my knees buckle. Get creative. Mental health. Now, I've got a question for you. Could you say you were more resilient? How many of you in this room are more resilient than you were 1 year ago? How many head nods? How many head nods? More resilient than you were 1 year ago. A lot of hands, a lot of nods. That's fantastic. And I believe this is an area of our life that we can always ramp it up. We can always be mindful of doing it better. And so I want to dip into that. And are you with me on this? That to bolster our resilience, we can strengthen our mental resilience, and we can always do those mental push-ups. So we're going to just touch down for a moment here. And we think about Stephen Covey's 7 Habits, Highly Effective People. This was my favorite one, the circle of concern versus the circle of influence. So it's around being proactive and how we can sometimes get tangled up in those thoughts that we can't control. What's happening with the economy? What's going on with the weather? Will winter last until June? Is it going to snow at the end of June? Is it going to snow? It probably will. What's going on with, is there a conflict in my family? What's happening? Is there changes in the company, or is there changes in the industry? Or all these thoughts that we cannot control and where our energy can slip away. As opposed to staying within our circle of influence, our thoughts, behavior, our actions, our attitude, all the things that we can control, the books we read, podcasts we listen to, shows we watch, how we communicate with our team at home, our team at work, the food we eat, whether we choose to exercise, whether we choose to go outside for 30 minutes. So people who stay within their circle of influence are much better able to manage change and to stay positive. Does that make sense? Because we think about what we can control. How can I move it to my circle of influence instead of spending mental energy around rehashing the past or imagining the future? So I could do a presentation to 200 people, and 198 of them say, well, that was fabulous. Let's bring her back. And then two, not so much. Didn't like it, didn't get it. And what are the 2 I take home? The 2 that didn't get it. And I take them to bed, and then I have breakfast with them the next day, and I roll them around. I've got them right here. They're right here. They're right here. They're right here. They're right here. And I take them with me. And so how do I move that from my circle of concern to my circle of influence? Well, we can always be open to doing it better. We can always improve. We can always shift it up. And then after that, if it doesn't help you grow, we can choose to let it go. If it doesn't lift you up, we can choose to let it go. And let's be mindful of where we're spending that mental energy. We get tangled up. 50,000 thoughts a day. 50,000 thoughts a day, even before we get up. We're negotiating with ourselves. That alarm clock goes off. Gee, I don't know. I had a shower yesterday. No, I don't need to bathe. I don't need to bathe. I'm good. I'm good. You know what? These pajamas look like work clothes. My team loves me for who I am. No, I'm going to have breakfast in the car. I just bought myself 20 minutes. We haven't even got out of bed and we're negotiating. Some thoughts are positive, some are negative. Some of them are the same ones over and over again. We get inside our heads. Sometimes they're very positive. Gosh, I'm rocking it out. Geez, I'm in control. I hope somebody asks me something today because I am on fire. And other days, not so positive. You know, I felt good before lunch. Now I'm like a sausage in nylon casing. What's going on? we can get caught up. We can get caught up in those thoughts. And so 47% of our waking hours, we're thinking about something other than what we're doing. We're not present. Wow, 47%. Have you ever been with someone who was not there? Have you ever been with someone and you were not there? Have you ever been in a meeting and no one was there? Every day. So we're going to walk through this. I'm so excited to share this with you because I'm very passionate about this journey. It's made an enormous difference for me personally, professionally, and I'm excited to share it with anyone who will listen around how we can take that break, mini mindful break challenge that I'm introducing today, that you can integrate in your day and just take these little breaks through your day to bolster your resilience, to strengthen your mindfulness muscle, to do those mental push-ups. Because I have a confession to me. I couldn't meditate. I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit still for 10 minutes and clear my mind. It wasn't going to happen. I couldn't sit and watch a candle flickering in the light in the room. But these doable bite-sized steps you can integrate in your day, and it helps you get centered and calm. We actually can work smarter, not harder, because we get centered physically, emotionally, and mentally. So starting off, before we even lift our head off the pillow, we can release stress hormones from the time our eyes flutter open because we're thinking about our to-do list. So before you even get out of bed, just take some nice big breaths and let them go. And just feel that breath. You're not counting the out breath. You're just breathing and you're just feeling the breath coming in and out of your body. You haven't even lifted your head off that pillow yet. And now I'd love you to swing your legs up and we're going to get out of bed. Right now, I'd love everyone to stand for a moment, please. Can you stand if you're physically able? Okay. Now you're going to need some space. So we're going to do an inhalation awareness stretch. Oh, it's medication on this chair. Okay. So we're inhale right up to mountain pose. Bring it right back down to heart center. Inhale with awareness right up to mountain pose. Bring it right back down to heart center. Oh, thank you, Christy. I want to capture. Look at this beautiful room. Look at this beautiful room. So amazing. One more. Up to mountain pose. Bring it right back down to heart center. Now, 3 thoughts I'd love you to start your day with to set your intention. What's one thing you're grateful for today? What's one thing you're grateful for today? Awesome. Now, what's one thing you're willing to let go? Maybe it's a thought you tangled up in. Maybe it's something in your circle of concern. Something you're willing to let go. Now, the last one. What's your focus today? What are you focused on today? So for me this morning, I woke up in that beautiful hotel room, Sheraton, looking over the harbor. I was so grateful to be in St. John's, Newfoundland, and have a harbor view. I thought I would light up. Amazing. So amazing. What am I willing to let go today? Any anxiety that I might have about this presentation, and trust the energy in the room. Trust the beautiful people that have come from their busy day to be in this room. And what am I focused on? Bringing as much positive energy as humanly possible to the front of this room. We set our intention for the day, and then we can check in with ourselves through the day. Am I in alignment with the intention that I set for myself today? Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. You couldn't be more fabulous. Hold on, one more. Okay, so 3 thoughts. That's your awareness stress. Setting intention for the day. We sometimes have that slump after lunch. And research shows our brain needs a break every 90 minutes to 2 hours to function optimally. And what's our instinct? Oh, reach for caffeine, sugar, carbohydrate. So I challenge you to do it differently. So every 2 hours, I want you to be mindful. Did I take my break today? Push that chair back, and we're going to do a little mindful walk. So I want you to get the blades back, blades right back, pail of sand in each hand, pail of sand. We live in a society hunched over our device. Get them right back, get them right back. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. Little songbird, so beautiful, so beautiful. Now relax your shoulders, your arms, your neck, your hands. Just roll it right out. Roll it right out. Roll it right out. It's Blair. It's Blair, right? Look at you. You almost popped a button. Blair, you almost popped a button. That's the kind of energy I'm looking for right now, Blair. So fabulous. Ginge. It's amazing. Okay. Roll it out. Any stress, any tension you're hanging on to is dripping right out of those fingertips. And any thoughts that come through, you're standing on a street corner watching those cars go by. Those are your thoughts just going by, just going by. So you are, every 2 hours, blades back, big breaths, pail of sand in each hand. Can you imagine walking the halls of RBC commercial banking? Blades back, blades back. Hey, what's happening, Bill? Just giving my brain a boost. What's happening with you? Big breaths, blades back, roll it out, stress dripping right out of the fingertips. This works walking to the golf tee before you hit a tennis ball, before you hit that yoga mat. Get it right back, dripping out. You will know who attended the 2019 Enlo International Women's Day when you see them walking down the streets of St. John's, Newfoundland with the blades back, big breaths, and owning the world. Fantastic. You couldn't be more amazing. Give yourselves a hand. So great. Thank you. C'est-vous. Unreal. Incredible. And it's not like we can just say, hey, I'm going to be mindful tomorrow. It's like saying, oh, I'm going to be fluent in Spanish by dinner. But these bite-sized, doable little steps take us on a journey where we can actually check in, pay attention to our emotions, check in, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? How is that affecting me right now? That we can really just pay attention to our breath. It's amazing. It is amazing how it works. We can do it on our way home, on our commute home. Just turning off the music, just be at the wheel, to let go of the day, just to let go of the day. I had one beautiful personal support worker in my audience too. She said, Meg, I set the tone in the morning because I set my alarm 15 minutes before I have to get up and schedule a 10-minute cuddle. I'm not sure what happens to the other 5 minutes, but maybe buffer, I'm not sure. We didn't get that far. Another way to set the positive intention for your day. I love mindfulness as like a dessert topping and a floor wax because it can help you get centered and helps you wound you down. Now, this is my favorite one before you get into bed. You're strengthening those positive neural pathways because the more you focus on what lifted you up, you think of one thing that lifted you up through your day. Maybe you had a day that went sideways. Maybe you didn't get one thing checked off your to-do list and you were stamping out fires all day. Think of one thing that lifted you up. And the more we lengthen that positive experience, the more those positive neurons are firing. And when they're firing, they're rewiring. You're creating and strengthening that positive neural pathway. And this is how they actually help patients deal with PTSD. Strengthening and creating new positive neural pathways. We're great about going to the gym. Aren't we good about doing our yoga? Well, what are we doing for our mind today? Check in. And I challenge you and I encourage you to try these, integrate these steps in your day for 2 weeks and see if it makes a difference spiritually, emotionally. Get centered. Amazing. Amazing. And if you get to the end of the day and you think, I forgot to do it, I didn't set my attention, or I didn't see what lifted me up, take a breath. When you're on that commute and you've got the guy in front who's taking an hour and a half to turn left, you're timing him with a calendar. You want to nudge him into oncoming traffic. Take a breath. You're behind the senior at the checkout who's got all day to do the task and taking every minute of it, and you're right behind them. You're in that conversation when you want to nudge them gently down a small flight of stairs. Take a breath. Amazing. What a difference. Now, let's take it one step further. Oh, this is another way to challenge your mind and rejuvenate it, take up a hobby you've always wanted to do. So I took up woodworking. 57 years it took me to get the courage. It was amazing, Blair, I got to tell you. Created this bookshelf. It's only got the one shelf. Could only get 6 books on there. It's an enormous amount. Look at Dr. Riley, the most cluttered basement in the face of the earth. He's just fantastic, traditionalist, amazing. So I'd love you to take your time, read this sentence once through, count the number of F's. Are you there? Okay, how many of you counted 3? How many of you counted 4 F's? How many of you counted 5? How many of you counted 6? How many of you counted 7? There's 7 F's. So, seldom do we have a complete picture. We often assume we're right when we're not. And 85% of the population is going to miss some of the F's. Now, it seems like a relatively simple task, and yet we don't count the right number. Why is that? Well, the technical explanation, we miss some of the F's and of because it sounds like V. And our left brain takes over and doesn't give our right brain visual skills a chance to kick in. So we come up with a number we assume is right, and then we move on with our busy day. We are so busy. Have you ever pulled into that driveway and you couldn't possibly think of how you got there? Our minds in many different directions. So we have these two beautiful hemispheres that complement each other to create a seamless perception of the world, and they represent two entirely different personalities. So left brain, analytical, logical, science, math, it makes decisions based on past experience. It judges things as good or bad, right or wrong. Right brain, compassion, empathy, joy, peaceful, childlike, in the moment. Western society honors, rewards that left doing brain sometimes much more than the being right brain. And we are wired to rely on our left brain from the time we're born. And some of us in this room are very good at using both sides of our brain. Where is your hemispheric home? So we often have these two polar opposite characters holding court inside your head. And if you don't think you have a little voice, that's your little voice telling you you don't have a little voice. So you picture you're at work, left brain, wow, showed him how to do that 3 times now. He just doesn't get it. I don't think he's trying. Right brain, well, I remember how overwhelmed I felt when I started here. Left brain, I can't believe she just said that. I'm right here. What does she think, I'm not within earshot? Right brain, wow, she sounds like she's under a lot of stress right now. You're in a meeting, a woman walks in 10 minutes late. Left brain, well, she's not late because she was doing her hair. Oh, whoa, we can rule that out right now. Right brain, oh, there's a person. Picture you're driving on the highway and you see a police car in the rearview mirror. You see the flashing lights, you hear the siren. What's your first reaction? Heart rate goes up, get a little diaphoretic, little sweaty. That reaction's based on past experience. It's not right or wrong, it's just based on past experience. It takes about 90 seconds for one of those emotions to be triggered, surge through our body, get flushed out of the bloodstream. If we choose to remain angry or anxious after 90 seconds, it's because we've chosen to let the circuit run. But we don't have to stay there. We can step to the right. I'd love you to stand again, please. Can you stand again? I'd like you to take a deep breath in and just let it go. Take a deep breath in, hold it for 4 beats, and let it go. When we associate relaxation breathing with what lifts us up and what stresses us out, we get used to letting it go. And when we don't let it go, punches up right here. Come home after a stressful day, headache, neck pain, go to do a downward dog, slip a disc. Off to see the chiropractor 6 months later, still have a slip disc. We can get used to letting it go. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Now you picture you're in a challenging conversation. You take a deep breath in, hold it for 4 beats, you stop in the loop of thought. Now sometimes you need to count to 4, and sometimes you need to count to 400 and blow it out. Now picture you're in a challenging situation. You take that deep breath in, you stop that loop of thought. I'd love you to take a step to your right. Take a step to your right. Just step to the right side of your brain. This piece, inspired by Dr. Jill Bolte-Taylor, a neuroscientist who suffered a stroke on the left side of her brain, recognized in her decade-long journey to read and walk again that she didn't welcome certain aspects of her left brain. She'd catch herself when she got stuck. Judgmental, critical of herself, critical of others. We can catch ourselves when we get stuck. We can take that deep breath and we can step to the right. We can step to the right. And I know this works. I know this works. I was working with the senior leadership team from Home Depot, and the following year invited back, and this beautiful supervisor came up. She said, Meg, I used this exercise. I had a customer melting down. She said, I went through the whole piece. She said, I took a deep breath. I stopped the loop. She said, I stepped to the right. She said, I stepped to the right so far, I ended up in the women's washroom. But you can always come back. You can always come back. Please have a seat. You couldn't be more fabulous. Thank you. We can catch ourselves. We can catch ourselves when we get stuck on that left side, judging, critical of ourselves, of our others. Let's be aware of those emotions. We can always do it better. What do we want to bring home? What do we want to bring home with us at the end of the day? Do we want to think about that one person on our team who rides our frazzled nerve ending like a bronco? Or do we think about all the incredible people who lift us up that we lean into every day? What do we want to bring home with us? Where do we want our mental energy to go? If it doesn't lift you up, we can let it go. If it doesn't help you grow, we can let it go. And I love this as an example of how we sometimes we make judgments before we have all the information we need. Now, this drawing was sent in by a primary student who was asked to draw a picture depicting what her parents did for a living. And when the mother found it was sent to the school, she was horrified and wrote a letter to the teacher the following day. Dear Mrs. Jones, I wish to clarify that I am not now, nor have I ever been, an exotic dancer. I work at Home Depot. I told my daughter how hectic it was the week before the blizzard hit. I told her we ran out of every single shovel we had. And then I found one more in the back room, and several people were fighting over who would get it. Her picture doesn't show me dancing around a pole. It's supposed to depict me selling the last snow shovel we had at Home Depot. From now on, I'll be mindful and check her homework more thoroughly. We can always do it better. Let's catch ourselves. Let's catch ourselves, and we get stuck on that left side. Okay, so where we ran out of time. You would have loved this. What a shame. What a shame. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Too bad. Okay. Now, you know, we have those days. We have those days when we can't control what happens, what goes on. We know we've all had those days. Can't control your hair, can't control what happens, what's going on. But we do have a choice about the energy we bring with us. Are you with me? We do have a choice about the energy we bring with us. And you can choose to have a good day or not. Have you ever started your day with one of these? I am so not in the mood for the... I don't have the energy to take this on today. This is not going to be a good day! And then sure enough, that's the day that will unfold for you. And then, of course, there are those of us who prefer to save it up for the ones we really love at home. Oh, we're pleasant, patient, and kind to just about everyone who crosses our path because we're passionate, confident, dedicated professionals and amazing people who live in Newfoundland. And we can take it. And we take blow after blow after blow through our busy day with a smile on our face. What's that? What's that? Computer's frozen and the server's down? Great. I'll just put a ticket in at the help desk and wait for a day. No paper in the photocopier? That's all right. Probably jammed anyways. Last minute meeting again this week? I sure hope it's on a Friday afternoon. Those are my favorite. Beautiful. Last minute request with an unattainable deadline? Great, let me drop everything. I'm all over it. Someone melting down on the phone? I should have gone into psychiatry. I have such a gift. Not going to get lunch till 2 o'clock again today? That's all right. I had a gluten-free crouton and a raisin for breakfast. I should be fine. Blow after blow after blow. Then you take a few more blows on your commute home. Oh, good. More construction on the road. Quality time in my vehicle. Maybe I'll get rear-ended. It might be a good way to meet people. Blow after blow after blow. And then you finally get home to your front door, where the people who mean the most to you lay waiting. people and the pets are the reason why you choose to work in the first place. Innocently await your arrival. You get your hand on the handle, you open it up, you walk in, and you let them have it. Oh, you wouldn't believe the day I had today. You see these lines? They were not here this morning when I wheeled out of the driveway. Whose shoes are these? I have tripped over these shoes 3 days in a row now. You know something? I don't even like you people. The backyard. Well, I have a stress buster for you. I'm going to leave you with this. Because your mind and your body are connected. You change one, the other will follow. Let's do this together. Chest out. Chest out. Ladies, get the girls right up. That's it, Mona. Beautiful. Chin up, smile, and repeat after me. Bring it on. Let me hear. Okay, that was very nice. That was very nice. Now, we're going to combine all of our positive energy together, celebrating 2019 International Women's Day, recognizing that we are better and stronger together, making a commitment to stay in our circle of influence, to step to the right when we get stuck on that left side, to give our brain a boost. Let's pool it all together on the count of 3 and lift these beautiful ceiling tiles up just a notch. You ready? Chest out, girls up. Look at you. Unbelievable. Smile. The more maniacal the smile, the more effective it is. You look awesome, Blair, little songbird. Beautiful. On the count of 3, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Bring it on. That was amazing. And I tell you, this really works. This really works. So the next time someone cuts you off in traffic, parks 1 inch from your vehicle so you need a can opener to get out, rude to you in an encounter for no apparent reason, you look them right in the eye. Chest out. Chin up. Smile. Sometimes this is enough. Sometimes this is all you have to do. Bring it on. It'll make you feel good. It'll make them wonder what you're up to. Thank you for helping me celebrate today and bringing your beautiful positive energy. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Meg. That was fantastic. The energy in the room was just terrific. You are a rock star, I got to tell you. Hard to follow you, for sure. Just a couple of little messages that I got from Meg. You know, we all can do these bite-sized, doable challenges. So we really look forward to getting the 21-day challenge. So send that to Christy. We'll make sure it's available to everyone. So I challenge you to do this challenge for sure. Remember to be mindful. I just wrote some little tips down from your session. Stay in your circle of influence. Ask for help. Choose to have a good day. You have the power. I'd like to remind you that you have name tags here. So on your way out, there's a table there. If you could just lay them on the table, we like to recycle. And also there will be a little donation basket there. So dig deep. We are the charity today for St. John's is the Iris Kirby House. Once again, so I'll thank you all for your donations. Happy International Women's Day. I would like to thank those that are live streaming in Happy Valley Goose Bay. And Grand Falls, Windsor, thank you for joining us. Happy International Women's Day. Let's all innovate for change and celebrate the amazing accomplishments of women. Thank you for being here today.